Hey there, I want to share my experience with working with ml5.js, in particular their HandPose model. ML5 is this machine learning framework for JavaScript, which is supposed to work quite well with p5.js. And this is what I'm doing here, and I was testing if I could use my fingertip to control those buttons, invisible UI kind of, yeah, and I got it working, but there were some problems, in particular the performance. First of all, how does this work? I get my camera input in P5 and send it to ml5, and they give us back an object with different points of your hand, and I then just take the fingertip point and get the X and Y position and say, okay, if it's behind that, activate it. And the first issue is that the camera takes a long time to load. So this is not a ML5 problem, but a P5 or maybe a web API problem. If I load the sketch, you can see it takes a few seconds until the webcam gets displayed. There it is. So I think this is a bit too long for a web application. If it's if it's for an installation where you start it once and then it just runs for over hours, it's fine. But yeah, I've tried to constrain it here with giving it like some dimensions and limit the frame rate, but still it takes a long time to load. And yeah, this is issue 1. Issue 2 was the default model ML5 uses is this TensorFlow model, and it runs that in full mode, but I won't do that right now. TensorFlow is, I think, the newer model based on this media pipe. If I'm not correct me. This TensorFlow model is supposed to work better, but as you can see, it takes a really long time to load. And you can hear my PC is really working hard. Now it's stuttering. And now it's loaded. And now if I go on here, it's there. But you can see there's some delay. And that delay is, if I show you the fingertip position, let me activate it for a second. Again, my PC is running hard. And now it's loaded. Now it's loading the ML5 model. And now you can see the yellow, my fingertip. And you can see it's lagging, it's stuttering. And I don't know why this is. This should not be. If I've watched video tutorials on how to use it, and there it did not stutter. People were using MacBooks, I think, but it should work on my devices. I've tested it on a few Windows devices, and they all have good CPUs and GPUs. I don't know why, but if I switch from this TensorFlow model to the MediaPipe model, as you can see, it performs better. Now it's already loaded, and now you can see my fingertip. But as you can see, there are some bugs. And I think it's because this MediaPipe model is not that good trained as the TensorFlow model. But it works, it does the job. So I have better performance and my UI is working. So I've ended up with this solution, but for much more complex projects, you might want to have the default TensorFlow model. But then I don't know with the loading times and performance. So these are two issues with loading the webcam. Why does it take so damn long? And also the stuttering, the lagging, the performance of the ml5 models. Yeah, this is my experience, and maybe you have like some feedback, some ideas on how to improve this. I will link this sketch somewhere on the page.